Hello.
Hi, everybody. This is Anna Charanova and Victoria Butko. You can see Robin Moser is missing again.
Business trip?
Business trip.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, Robin. So, welcome to the Tipsy Realtor season 3. And we have to improvise a little bit today. So, we're making a Gilligan's Island cocktail, and we will be talking about parents helping their children to purchase their first home. So,
Let's start
I
with
know
the
you
drink.
guys were expecting the Belmont Jewel. That's going to be next week. So, cocktail. Hold on, I got the recipe here on the screen. Look at me going. So, we have Confluence Vodka, which is a local Calgary producer. I got it for my birthday. Yes, usually nothing sticks around my house this long, alcoholic. But here it is. So, I'm making Victoria's and myself drink together. So, you can see on the screen it calls for 1 ounce, but we're putting two. And oh, look at that. Oh, wow, look at that. To the drop, to the drop. Excellent. Thank you, Fee, for giving me vodka for the last birthday. My birthday is coming up next Monday, so waiting for another one. Then we're doing peach schnapps. So again, it calls for 1 ounce per cocktail. We're gonna put two, and we are doing orange juice. Let's do switch 3 ounces per cocktail. There you go. And so we're gonna do this. There you go.
Easy.
Yeah. And then also we're doing 3 ounces of a cranberry juice. So I don't like cranberry juice. So I got cranberry raspberry cocktail. So it's just a little bit sweeter. And
Then we need to shake it.
we'll shake it. And we already have glasses with ice waiting for the drink. So let's do this. Yay! Shake it, shake it. Gilligan Island! Why not? I don't think you just need to shake it so it's nice and cold because again there is
Our shaker from Fifth and Vermouth.
yes, Fifth and Vermouth, again local barware. Oh my God, I'm gonna like spill it all over myself. Hold on,
Let me try.
I really I got it. Oh, there you go, I got it. Yay! Oh, look, it looks nice. Okay, so and
Ooh, looks beautiful.
looks like a picture, I have to say. And I prepared just orange wheels for our decor. There you go. Hold on, let me just get a little bit of paper towel here because it's kind of disaster area. Perfect, thank you. But it's a beautiful color. You can see it's very summery. I mean, we were supposed to make this drink next week,
Yeah, but
Gilligan
something goes
Island.
wrong.
We're talking about the lake communities, hence the Gilligan Island. But we're gonna do it today. So if you want to do a straw,
And we're gonna
it
talk
is.
about purchasing a home for your kids. So let's
Yeah.
try it first.
Oh, you're gonna like it.
You like it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, very tropical.
Mm.
It's kind of like the peach snap with a fruit release coming.
She knows already what I'm gonna like and what I won't.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one for
And I can
Victoria. Yeah.
tell you that the Robin and Anna knows it better than me.
Mm.
Right away.
It is a Tipsy Realtor season 3 coming to the end. We have only 2 weeks left. So yes, Robin and I are very experienced now Wednesday afternoon drinking.
I'm
So
getting there.
yeah, no, delightful drink, you guys. It's a great patio drink. Summer is coming. So if you're sitting with your friends, you can probably make a big picture of it and just put it on ice. Basically, we got juice, vodka, and schnapps. It's a super easy recipe, and I think it would be easy, like a welcome cocktail on a patio. Well, talking about purchasing a home for your kids. So you're a parent and you would like to help your kid out. Sometimes there's a lot of questions. How do I do it? And there's definitely just basically a two-way to do it. You can co-sign or you can gift the down payment. So it all depends, or you can do probably both. Well, it's all gonna be depending on I guess your kid also, situation. Are they
Yeah,
working?
abilities. If they're
Yes.
working, they can afford it. For
Do they
example,
have any money saved? Because some of the kids start saving money early.
but it's
Some
a
of,
good option when the
yeah,
kid is working and he can afford to pay the mortgage, but he's
yeah.
not eligible yet. And for example,
Yeah,
or he
in
has
my
no down
career, I've
payment.
seen it all. I've seen the parents basically just buying properties and kind of the kid was living there. They didn't own it, but it was theirs. The kid, like the parents had laissez-faire kind of relationship. They hands off. I had people who were co-signing for the kids. I had people who were gifting down payment for the kids, but not co-signing and not being on title. So there's all different ways. So I did a little research before the show, and it's showing that there's at least 37% of young buyers will need help from that parent to buy a home. And it's just because due to home
Well,
price
yeah.
rising,
And
in the
like
last few years.
considering that, like for example, after university, they just start in the career,
Yeah.
so it take time.
So in terms of gift letter, I think that's pretty easy and self-explanatory, right? You
Yeah.
have done gift letters quite often, so why don't you tell us?
Yeah. So the thing is, like, when you're applying for a mortgage, like, you need to prove all the funds you have for your down payment, and if you have some amount that like somebody give it to you as a gift, the gift can be just from immediate family member. It's like
Yeah,
the
so
parents,
from
kids,
parents.
yeah, so parents basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the all bank accepted the gift letter, so it's all eligible to be the part of the part of your down payment. So it's really really easy. Every mortgage broker can explain you this and can tell it's really
Yeah.
easy forms. Just you fill it out and that's all.
Yeah, and basically it means like your kid has a great job, they just don't have money to put down, and you giving them the down payment that so it cannot be from borrowed funds. So it's a gifting the down payment to your kid to buy whatever the first property it is. There is usually very little strings attached. It's really because it's a gift. There is no loan agreements, nothing like this, and it's up to you as a parent to have a chat with your kid. I'm giving you this money, but I'm expecting this. So it's kind of your personal agreement, but that's the easiest one. In terms of co-signing as a parent, sometimes the kid has a great job. It has down payment, but their maybe credit history is a little bit weak because, let's put it this way, as a students, we all had sometimes a credit card debt or a car debt, and maybe the job pays just enough, but not to cover all your, that income to debt ratio expenses. So in that case, you can co-sign. How co-signings work? So the bank is actually has to approve the parent like anybody else that needs to be eligible for mortgage.
But in this
Yeah,
scenario, you have responsibility to deal with the
that's right.
mortgage.
So your name goes on the mortgage, your name goes on the title, and responsibilities with the mortgage goes to you as a parent. So you can have an agreement. Yes, I will co-sign, I will go on title, but it's your home. But if the child stops paying the mortgage on time or completely doesn't look after the house, that goes back to you as a person who owns the house, technically. So there are ways to also put your name on title, but not to be 50-50. You can take 1% of ownership versus 50% ownership or 100% ownership. So there is a different way of, you can discuss that with the lawyers, how to do that.
Yeah.
But there are options. But when you co-sign, just remember as a parent, that goes on your credit history as well as another mortgage on your credit history. So if you're planning to buy something for yourself in the future, that will come knocking on your door. And there is a different ways you can structure post, how you get out of this, right? So you can co-sign for X amount of years. So which means usually the term, people take a fixed year, 5-year term, and then it goes up to renewal. So you can say, hey, I'm going to co-sign for those 5 years. It's an agreement you can draw up with your kid and a lawyer. But the trick is when the renewal comes up in that 5 years, your child needs to qualify again for the
For
mortgage
full
on their
amount,
own,
yeah, on
for
their own.
whatever is left over. Yes. So that's one way to do it. So if you know your kid, like let's say they just finished, they become a doctor and they're gonna just starting a job.
And we would talk about
Yeah.
it with Ian last
Yeah.
time. So when you're still like on university, you can already apply for mortgage, and they count in your
Right.
projected income.
That's right. So like some of the professions like a doctor can buy a home before we graduating. And in that sense, like we basically assuming, but majority of doctors making a really good salary. So in 5 years, they're gonna stand on their own feet, have no problem, and they're probably gonna even like upgrade a home in 5 years. But that's kind of like that short term co-signing. There is another one. I was looking here.
And honestly, for me, I think it's better, because you still give your kids some independence, like because they're
Yeah, you
responsible
have to
too.
understand like
Yeah.
what kind of
How?
ownership you do. You just helping them and you stand back, you're
Yeah.
not doing anything, or you're gonna be very involved. Like you're making decisions on kind of renovations gonna be
Yeah,
done in
I
your
think
house.
it's damaging for actually for
It's
kids.
gonna
If
be
we
a very
talking,
hard
yes,
relationship,
yes. If we're talking,
parent child.
yeah, if we're talking personally, like
Yeah.
I'm talking as a parent, I would love to help my kids, but at the same time, I would love to give them responsibility so they can
Yeah.
understand that it's there and they own it. So I'm here for help, but it's on them.
Yeah. And when I was doing some research on this topic, I mean, obviously, like I'm very familiar with the co-signing and the gifting and how parents purchase. But there is something we never actually really talk because it never comes up. But I thought it was very interesting. How do the parents protect themselves when they do help the child? So there is one scenario I was looking at, and it was kind of done with a lawyer and financial advisor together. So the parent can structure the contribution where the child can pay them back what they kind of put into the house. And so it's basically not really a gifting, but it's a loan. It gets registered on title. So, and the reason it happens, like if the child stops paying the payments on the mortgage and the bank comes after you, now you're responsible for making all the mortgage
Yeah,
payments,
it's your
catching
debts.
up. It's your
Yeah,
debts. So that way you don't lose the house. Like you cannot, you can take that house, if you sell it and you're going to be basically, you can put your the registered loan on title. You will be next in line to get paid once the house is sold. So that basically the bank takes its mortgage and you take your loan or whatever is left of it. So that means you still protect it as an investor. It's kind of an investor point of view, right? The other way I was looking into what happens if the child gets together with somebody, gets married, right? And then they get divorced and the home you help your child now 50-50, right? So there is a protection for investment like this. You can put lien on the house, which means nobody can sell without your permission. And this kind of, and that happens if your name is not on title or if the couple actually never lived in a house. So that was a way. So you can do either a loan registration or you can put lien on a house. That makes sure that you protecting your investment, and it's great the way to protect also, yeah, your kids sometimes, right? Um, and
the
also if you die, so that says like, I mean, I'm sorry to say this, it's not a
we
great
all will
topic,
die.
but what happens is one of the co-borrowers dies, then so the second person that on title and on the mortgage has to qualify after the person death and all that kind of stuff. You have to qualify to be a full owner of the home, so you have to qualify for that mortgage. If you can't qualify, you can't find the money, you have to sell the property and then have to buy something that you can qualify for. So any change of ownership, you have to make sure that you can qualify on your own.
Yeah. But talking about this in general, like it's great to help kids. If you have a possibility to help your kids get the house, it's always exciting and always great. But you need to remember that like not just put your help there. You need to put some responsibility on them. So they
Yeah.
need to understand if something's gonna happen to you or something's gonna change, they're gonna be responsible and they need to be ready to do that.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's why it's very important, like, to speak with us about this particular topic because it could get tricky. I had conversations where as I said, parent says, "That's yours. See you later. Goodbye." Was like, "I bought this. It's my property, but you can live in it as long as you want and do whatever you want. I don't care." And I did have conversations where I'm sorry, but my parents will not co-sign for me because they don't want to take that liability that they gotta have an extra debt registered on their name. So, and obviously, sometimes it's good to discuss like, okay, if I'm taking this debt, how can I protect myself? And especially if you are worried that your child will
Yeah,
default on your
because
mortgage and things
all
happen.
relationship is different. Everybody is
Exactly.
different. Yeah.
And, chatting with myself, Robin, and Victoria, we can answer a lot of those questions. If you don't know the answers, we have a lot of legal team who can answer the questions like that and how to structure those things. So everybody's protected, right?
So, what about the price?
Okay, so all the prizes are provided by Remax Realty Professionals. We have a really cool new patio prize.
I will show it closer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
This is margarita glasses with
Yes.
gel inside in between
The layers,
the
yeah.
layers. Yeah,
Which you
then
put in
this
the freezer, yeah.
you put in the freezer and it gets freeze and it's plastic, so it won't get broken.
So
And
your
it's gonna
margarita stays hotter. I mean, colder.
colder. You're
in a
gonna
hot
stay
day.
hotter, margarita gonna stay colder.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really really
So you
amazing.
get
It's
it set up too. Awesome.
Yeah.
And how do you?
It's gonna be in 2 weeks, right?
Yes, we're doing the first. So our last show is the first week of July, and somebody's gonna win it. And how do you win this?
You need to like, comment, do wherever under our videos on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram.
Yep, Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah.
LinkedIn,
So
YouTube.
basically,
So
yeah, like and share and comment, and every time you're doing that, your name gonna be entered into the draw.
yes, in the next week, we're finally going to be making the Belmont Jew, which is going to be another very refreshing and simple drink from what I've read already. And we're going to be taking about my favorite topic. I think I say this like several times a year, but this is one of my favorite topics. It's the lake communities around Calgary. And
And we have a lot of things to talk about because Anna live on a lake, I live on a lake.
we
Yeah.
love lakes, a
Yeah.
lot of what we can say, all right? Just make it super nice and fun. And let's, okay, there you go. And again, I don't think Robin is back next week, so you get stuck with us, me and Victoria. But if you are looking to list your home or purchase your home, the market is finally starting getting a little bit more active, which we're seeing a little bit more listings. But we still have a lot of more buyers who are grabbing those listings really fast. So if you are thinking of selling a home through the summer and you're wondering how to do it, please contact us. We would love to hear from you. And of course, we always plan for the future. And what else? What else did I say? Did I say
And
something?
if you're planning to buy a home, you can call us too, not just sell.
Yeah, no, buy, sell. Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so cheers.
So that's basically it. Thank you for watching
Mm.
and see you next time.